Hey there, it's Trent Ford here for Construct Turtle Studio and Trentopedia. Oh, and my actual turtle, Tumbles, but he rarely says much. Today, we're looking at how you can bring your game PDFs into the Creators Kit and how to pull certain content from them and link it. This makes it easier to use and remember what you have. This is for when you're running your own campaigns, when you need a one-shot, or even when you're inspired by a specific supplement. Instead of using something I wrote, I'm going to demonstrate from something written by my friends over at Cave Gaming. They have a few things, but this one's really nice and indicative of their quality. We're going to be using Adventure and Maksur, Tavern Treble. Since I'm showing some of their secret sauce for this by opening the PDF live here, I got their permission. After the demo, I'll have a quick chat with my friend Brandon, the owner and lead designer at Cave Gaming. Hey there, first we're going to make a new note. So, just going to call it Then we got a file right here. We'll get our folder back and we'll drop this in. So now we have our PDF. And I don't want it to be embedded, I just want it to be linked for the moment. So what I'm going to do is open it like this and drop it over in the side tab like that. So you can treat this kind of like you would browser tabs, but more powerful. So this is it, Adventures and Maksur. And we'll go through, look at the table of contents. This is usually a good place to kind of pull, so you can pull this in for searchable stuff later. Grab this like that. And sometimes it does better than others when it comes out, but at least we're getting all our content pretty clean. So now I really just gotta move this stuff over, and I'll pause for a second. Just did enter on a few lines. Show here. And as you can see, this is nothing fancy, just putting each thing on its own line so it's readable and have a little bit of formatting. And as you can see, that's just the table of contents, which is pretty good. And you can even add your headings in like this. And you can pull more or less in, but I'm just going to do that for the moment, because I like to give it an overview, gives you a good look, and then I would kind of see which things am I most interested in. Well, I know I want to pull this little thing in, this introduction, and then adventure stats, because that's useful when you're searching. For this one, it's a drop-in adventure basically. It can go for 2 to 3 hours of playtime, and it's geared for 4 to 5 players for parties of level 4 adventurers. So we'll take this, and looks like I missed the I, but that's alright. We'll grab it I, and let's give it a heading. Introduction to the story, and then we have our adventure, and then we'll put in and so you'll see this when you copy paste stuff over. Sometimes you'll have these little dots, but let's replace them with dashes, because in Markdown that turns it into native bullets. And again, I haven't really done anything fancy here. It just has made it nice and searchable. I have a link to the PDF, and I can kind of see what this PDF would include even without opening it. So depending on what you want to do, like this is a tavern variant, so for here I might want to link to and say, hey, it's got tavern table, which I already have something similar. and 20 tavern locations, 20 random taverns, whatever. You can see I did this one because this is not a note that exists yet, but this one is. But if I make this, it'll have a link to here. So if I open this up right here and click back over here, anyway, we have our link here, and I could click like that. And you can see it's linked over to here. So if I'm ever looking for tavern locations and I see, oh, I have this linked here, I have this other campaign adventure that talks about tavern stuff. But we could also throw in other things, like this has to do with pirates. And you could just do something even as simple as keywords and say pirates, ocean, sea, and we'll click back into it, find a few more good things. Brawling, Crystal Bay, and there's all kinds of stuff you could pull from, and that's kind of the basics of how you would start pulling out. Well, you can also link to specific pages in a PDF, which can be very useful. So for this one, I'm really interested in their magic items, so I'm going to do this. And I like that coral weave stiletto. It's going to be and then I'm just going to do this trick. You see the hashtag or pound sign, do page, and then equals, and for that one it should be 31. Now, some PDFs have a digital offset, but this one doesn't, so this will work out just right. Or at least it should. We'll find out. Alright, yep, you can see right there. Coral weave stiletto. And I can pull this text over into the document too. But I'll keep that link to it there. So this kind of shows how you can pull specific things. Stat blocks can be a little more complicated to pull all the text from if you don't want to do a lot of formatting. But you can still link to it by the page number, which makes it easy to find in the future. And you can just keep your copy of your PDF right in your creator's kit. Hey Brandon, it's good to chat with you. I just wanted to say thanks for letting me look at your supplement and kind of break it down and show the Wise RPG system using it. I'll let you introduce yourself and talk about your supplement a bit.
There we go. My name is Brandon Dietrich. I am the owner slash project lead, primary writer, and way too many other hats for Cave Gaming. We're a small TTRPG company that makes 5e and moving into other systems, different adventure modules.
Awesome. So, what got you into tabletop writing to begin with?
There we go. A few years ago, I was a teacher by trade. Had a couple students come up to me one day after school, and they're like, "Hey, Mr. Dietrich, you're a nerd." And I said, "Yes." And they said, "You know how to play Dungeons and Dragons?" And yes. They're like, "Will you teach us?" And I went, "Yes, Tuesday, come after school." And it kind of just started from there. We started making supplements for our D&D club at the school. Ended up being encouraged by enough different people to give it a shot professionally, because as educators we were able to take the either the complicated rules or character generation and really make it incredibly accessible. So we kind of adapted some of those stories, threw it on a Kickstarter that I expected it not to work, and we now have our 7th Kickstarter running currently. So
That's really great. I guess as an educator, you really enjoyed getting to share and teach people. So, what kind of elements of that brought you into tabletop gaming, or what's your favorite thing about tabletop gaming?
oh, it's the collaborative story. It's so like growing up, being a nerd forever, I heard about D&D a lot, but I always heard it was like the people versus the storyteller kind of thing, and that never really hit the right vibe for me. And until dramatically later when I sat down with a couple of friends and we just kind of talked through a story, and that got me hooked really hard. The idea of it's not necessarily us versus them, it's all of us coming together and experiencing this world together and building the world together and having people around the table that are comfortable exploring different things that way. And just collaboratively playing together. That's how our home table group started, and then working with students. It's a crazy world out there, but giving the students a place where they could sit down and like, oh, it's no longer Johnny working out his issues, it's him fighting a goblin. Yeah, that's totally what it was. Yeah, but giving them that space and just seeing the incredible growth of character both on paper and at the table.
Anything else you really wanted to share?
Overall, like it's been a blast. I've had a lot of people asking me about like our journey of becoming creators and what we thought joining the space. And the biggest encouragement I have to people that want to do it is just do it. It's a super inviting space. There's awesome collaboration opportunities, getting to do fun things like this, where like we hang out in a Discord chat and we talk about our Kickstarters, and now it's grown into this cool friendship and just getting to meet people that way. It's a much more inviting industry than I expected it to be. Every convention we go to, I'm continually humbled by people that like part of me wants to fanboy beating them, and we're just hanging out and playing games together. It's a lot of fun.
I'd like to give you a minute to kind of really pitch the adventures and make sure Tavern Trouble that I wrote down. Tell people what's so great about it because I could, but you built it. You have a passion for it.
Oh, so this particular adventure, it's, I mean, it's the old stereotype. They meet in a tavern. Well, in our case, actually, they're meeting on their way to the tavern. They're getting to the village. You're doing all the cool village stuff even before you get to the tavern. You get to the village, you learn about like there's this sea beast and there's this ridiculous bounty that's making everybody think they could possibly be a hero. And when you arrive at the village, you find out there's this tension between the pirates on one side and the privateers on the other side, and the heroes, as they have the different encounters in the village and beginning at the tavern, inevitably they're going to have a side that they kind of lean towards. Do they want to be that like the glory for myself seeking pirates, or do they worry more about like the protecting people and the honor of the crown kind of idea what the privateers have? And inevitably they're either going to sign on or possibly be press ganged onto a crew and be sent out from there. And it just it makes an incredible springboard either for our sea bounty arc or at conventions. I actually we just did this at a convention a couple of weeks ago where ended up being a table team. Like they played together, they just all signed up for my event, and they said that they were going to springboard from that event off into their own seafaring thing. It's such a cool opportunity for that. It's anything you could possibly need to get the people from on the or on the land to the ship is leaving, and it's got all the tables in there for you.
That's one of the reasons I really liked your adventures. They're built where they can be drop in. And like, I think for people, especially when they just want to write their own stuff, or if they just want to incorporate sessions, then drop in adventures are like really great for that. You're not committing to this epic quest, but you can continue it if you get interested in it. I really like that. So really, thanks for letting me break it down and kind of show how my new system can let you bring in your own PDFs.
Um,
Well,
no problem.
everybody, if you're interested in cave gaming stuff, which you should be, I'm trying to sweet talk them into a discount for all of you good viewers. So check the description, and there probably is going to be a sweet, sweet discount code. I hope you're excited for all of cave gaming stuff and for my Wise RPG coming out. So back the Kickstarter or buy the course if it's out. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.